Hello there, welcome back to Tunis and the Sons of Carthage. Last time we declared a war on Morocco, which is going actually fairly well here, and we are also going to most likely end up in a war with Castile, Aragon, Naples and Portugal, provided that things go well. Castile got themselves involved into a war with the whole Roman Empire per se, and they're currently losing, as you can see here. Best case scenario, a union or two might be broken, but we'll just have to wait and see here. Morocco wants peace, but we're not going to give them to them. We have some terms that we want them to fulfill. So for the time being, we'll just wait. Unfortunately, it seems like we are also closing in on the time when Tunis will be annexed, which is not really beneficial for us. And the reason for that is, again, really simple. By annexing Tunis, I'll have to get rid of their army, which is currently doing a pretty good job here. And that timing is kind of perfection right there. But I'm probably going to have to get rid of their entire army. But before I do that, we are going to use this army here. No, we're not going to do that. We don't have the opportunity to do that. It's just too expensive. But as you can see, my treasury is actually going positive right now, which is really, really good. And the autonomy is, of course, really high level for the time being. But we'll just have to live with that. Now, as soon as we're done with some sieges here, we're going to continue, well, with some more sieges. And I think in this case we're actually going to rival our rival. Get England's opinion up is not really beneficial for us. We can't get an alliance. Protecting against Castile is probably the best thing that we can do. And I need to improve relations with both Fez and, again, the French. I kind of want to have a French ally if possible for my war with Castile. What we're going to do now, however, is get rid of this navy because it's going to lose horribly. Yeah, I don't... Do I have a need of a navy? Probably. We can just join them up with their ships that we already have. Worst case scenario, I can probably sell them. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But anyway, so yeah, the goal here is to have Morocco give me Saura and Melilla here to release 2 vassals in the future. So we'll just siege a couple more provinces and then they'll probably give me what I want here. We'll see. Might actually get it right now. So, Morocco are willing to give me the 2 provinces that I want, which means there's no reason for me to continue this war. Negative, it's kind of expensive on diplomacy points, but it will allow me to release 2 vassals that will more or less allow me to take the entirety of their nation, which is of course what we're after here. So for the time being, we'll join up our army and hopefully we'll be able to kick this army's butt. But I'm also going to get rid of some of my mercenaries because they are expensive to have around and I don't really need them right now. I have more than enough troops to deal with a measly 4 regiments in Togut here. And we'll probably also go ahead and declare war on Sab. This claim runs out in 76, so we have 10 years before we have to deal with that claim. But all in all, we should be fine here, so I'll go ahead, siege Togut, we'll vassalize them, and once we've done that, we'll... No, I can almost do that straight up now, so I think I might actually get the deal as soon as we destroy their forces. We'll see how it plays out. But before that, I kind of forgot here, we can upgrade our military tech, and we'll of course do that. We get standardized pikes, which gives a combat width increase by 2, infantry shock by 0.15, and we get a new type of infantry that we will probably put into good use as soon as this war is over. There's no reason to change right now. So we'll go ahead and destroy this 4,000 men army, and then we'll siege the remainder of the land, hopefully. Or they might actually give up right now. Nope, we'll have to siege a couple more provinces, and then this should all be done and over with. So I'll get right to that, and we'll see how this pans out. There we go, with the siege of the capital. We should now have everything we need to vassalize them, and we do. I'll also take their money, because it's kind of important to have money. So there we go, Togut is now a vassal. We can now go towards the annexing of Fezzan here. They have fulfilled their use. Once Fezzan has been annexed, we're also going to release, most definitely, our our new 2 Moroccan vassals, and then we might actually go ahead and fight the Mamluks. We'll have to see. But as you can see, it will take me 1.5 years to get rid of Fezzan, but it's something that I can, that I'm willing to, well, live with. Now, for the time being, we'll have to wait until we, no, we don't, we can't just call this guy back. I think, yeah, I can use my vassals, Casus Belli here to declare war on these guys, I'm pretty sure. And funnily enough, they're actually allied with Morocco. So what we're actually going to do instead here is actually wait. Morocco will not be, they will probably not accept. Well, I kind of want them to accept, so what we're going to do here, since the claim doesn't run out until 9 more years, is actually wait. Because it's the most beneficial thing for us to do. It's the thing that will be, well, it will be paying off the most. So we'll wait until Fezzan has been annexed, and hopefully by then, once these two has been released, we can declare war on Morocco and, well, or declare war on Mazab, take some provinces from Morocco and grow our new 2 vassals small. So we'll see how that plan pans out. For the time being, however, the Castilians haven't really lost too many men. They're still a little bit too big and too scary for us to fight, but the Ottomans are the unrivaled superpower right now, and if I could bring them into war against Castile, that would be wonderful. But for the time being, we'll just have to wait and see. But at least, as you can see, Ferrara is making some pretty, or rather the Holy Roman Empire Alliance is making some pretty strong moves in Italy. So hopefully they will potentially break something free for us to conquer. We'll wait and see. For the time being, however, I'll wait until Fezzan has been annexed, and then we'll consider our next moves. Unfortunately, the only thing here that will actually release is Galicia. And the funny thing here is, I'm actually really tempted to just go for a straight out no Casus Belli war. Navarra was released. I didn't actually get any pop-up with the peace deal, which is kind of infuriating. Unfortunately, Aragon and Naples is still under union, which is bad. But they had to release 1 province and a tiny vassal, so how are their prestige doing? Well, it's still high, so no worries there. But again, for the time being, we'll focus on our own end of business, and hopefully here I can declare war rather soon. I should probably have gone south. I'm actually considering going south here, basically going off of this area here, and creating a very strong Africa to come up and kick their asses. But we'll see. I might go for a colonization idea next to, well, colonize to at. We'll see. It might be that I go for exploration or expansion ideas just for that purpose. It could actually be helpful in the long run. But we'll see. For the time being, we'll focus on, as I said, integrating Fezzan, and then we'll go for another war against Morocco. Now this one is an interesting event. Monopoly company formed. I can force them to make a long-term investment, or I'm not forcing them to make a long-term investment. I am making a long-term investment, which actually gives me some diplomacy power, or I can demand payment in full. Now in this, usually I would just make the long-term investment due to the fact that I gain diplomatic power, but in this case we're going to demand payment in full, since it will more or less fill my coffers up for the next war, which is of course a really, well, to me it is a really strong, well, modify, benefit, call it whatever you want. It's basically more helpful having cash than not having cash. I think I'm also going to upgrade my standing army here. I can have a force limit now of 17, so we're going to upgrade this to 16,000 men, and we're going to actually add 1 horse and 3 regular dudes, if you will, and there's that, army upgraded. And this is what we're going to be using, of course, against the Moroccans. I really like the fact that they allied themselves with these smaller nations. It makes it really easy to pick them apart, and I should probably just have gone with these guys, but we'll stand them down. Kind of useless at this stage. And we'll also unite our fleets in Tunis, and then we'll prepare for war. There we go, we're more or less ready here. We're going to improve our admin tech to level 5, which gives us temple and constables, which is useful. And of course, before we declare war, we're going to have to remember to do the most important thing here. Unfortunately here, as you can see, they're also going to get figurig, so I didn't really need to take this, well, I didn't need to take Saura in the last war, but I did, and not too much to do about that. and of course, as I said, we're going to release or create these two subjects before the war, because if we do not, we're just going to get bitten in the arse. So there we go, Fez has been released. I'm a little bit unsure if they retain their cores. Did not retain all of their cores, which is a little bit bad, but I'm pretty sure I can just feed them the Moroccan provinces. It shouldn't be it should be a non-issue per se. And Tafila will have 4 cores right now. I'm a little bit unsure, did I lose half of their cores when I created as a subject? It seems like they actually do, so let's see how this actually pans out. These guys did not lose anything, so that's good. But anyways, we're going to wage war right now for, of course, the things that we want. And we're going to declare war on Mazab here. The court, not powerful, but it should be able to handle something as small as that. And as you can see, Morocco will not actually join, which is again kind of what we're doing here. Funny thing here is I'm actually going to get some piety as well, because they are Mazab is as you can see, an Ibadi nation, which is a heresy to my nation. And we're going to find now the Moroccan army, which numbers 11,000 men. So let's just see if we can actually find that army quickly and destroy it. Because if we do not, we're going to get into trouble. Morocco is actually caught up in tech right now, but I'm still 1 tech ahead, which should mean that my army should decimate theirs, which it did. And now we can just split everything up. Siege squads, really important part of my tactics. And we're just going to siege everything that we can get our hands on, which is most of their territories here. Funny part is that this army can still be split in 2 for another sieging army, if you will. But they have actually created 1 small army here, which could be a problem. So I think what we're actually going to have to do here is hire some mercenaries for the sole purpose of hunting down their siege squads, more or less, or the units that they recruit, if you will. Because as you can see here, they would really quickly become a capable fighting force, which is not the best thing ever. So what we're actually going to do here is try and hunt down said fighting force before it becomes an issue. Now this is one of the things that I find a little bit annoying, the fact that they managed to join up an army where they did, but not much I can do about that right now. Now Garb is going to be, oh goddamn, that's actually a pretty decent army that they managed to create. So as you can see, if we're not careful, we might get beaten back here. So we're going to lift that siege in order to protect ourselves. And we're going to join these armies up to again protect ourselves, hopefully. Now if they still attack with these guys incoming, then I'm going to get kind of interested in what they're thinking. Now that is something that is tinkering a little bit too much. I think we're going to have to pull back here and basically create some stronger sieging armies, or completely destroying their manpower before we do anything else here. So these guys will join up into 1 force, and hopefully I can use that force to, well, destroy most of their armies before they become an issue, which apparently we did not manage to here. Can you not just put or walk 1 step backwards? Yeah, this is I'm just going to focus on catching their army, and once I do I'll get back to you, because this is just currently being a little bit weird. There we go, I should in theory be capable of catching their army right now. My dumbness has hopefully worn off. We'll just see here. Worst case scenario, we'll lose this battle. Best case scenario, I win this battle. Win this battle was apparently what we chose, and I'll just hunt down this army right now. I'll unite my mercenary army to hunt them down once and for all. And this is one of the very weird things that I have happened in this game. Fair enough, it's a really good way to have your prestige growing, but this army should have been destroyed now twice. It's just frustrating when these things happen, but there we go. They have a tiny bit of morale, so tiny you can't actually, well, see it, to be perfectly honest, and that is currently what was messing me up there. But hopefully with this sieging pattern we will be able to get what we're after here. Togod is still messing around with Mazab. Hopefully they can deal with that on their own, but for now we'll just siege Morocco. Now this is one of the more annoying things that I've seen here. Apparently Castile ended up putting in here, which is of course hilariously annoying. They declared war for Tangiers, which is of course annoying because it's what we're after. And currently they're taking Garb too. These are basically two of the provinces that I was anticipating the most because they are kind of rich. But what this basically means then is that Castile is messing up my plans, which is not something that I like to tolerate, or intolerant of. It's probably a better way of saying it. I don't like them messing up my plans like they have been doing during this game. Basically every time I've done something they have messed it up. First you have the event, but there's not too much I can do right now. We're just going to have to wait until the war is over, then we'll decide what to do. Worst case scenario, I'll just try and hold my well, it's not worst case scenario per se. Best case scenario, I'll just try and hold my my holdings here, see if I can get him to draw a white piece, or just handing him just Tangiers, something like those lines. But potentially here this could actually be kind of beneficial, because it means that I can declare war for a province in Africa and just defend said province to get some war score up, basically forcing them to throw troops into Africa. Then I can just keep the war going for all eternity to try and break the unions, which of course would be really beneficial, but we'll have to see how it pans out. For some reason there's also Moroccans in Sardinia, which I'm pretty sure are actually the Mamluks, which I'm actually going to be very kind and offer military access to, which I have no interest of, which is kind of silly. But it is what it is. I think we're just going to have to go forth here and make a peace with Morocco once we can. The peace will probably be these two provinces and along the coast here to try and cut any Castilian conquest in two. But we'll wait and see what we come up with. It's not really, we don't really have too many choices in the matter. But unfortunately we're going to end it here. It's been we made some progress, unfortunately not as much as I like, but after this war with Morocco I am kind of tempted to go after the Mamluks, provided that the Ottomans are willing to go with me here. If the Ottomans go with me in a war against the Mamluks, we're probably going to end up in a good position. But unfortunately, as you can see, the Ottomans will not be joining due to the fact they would be called into multiple wars. And the reason why I get that is basically because I'm already at war. And what the result here would be is basically that how should I put this? The result, if I call them in, would be that they would be called into the other war as well, which they do not like. But as I said, we're going to end it here. We're going to continue next time. Unfortunately, in this war, I had to take 2 loans, which will also focus on 2, which I will be repaying. But I think we might actually end up here in a war against the Mamluks, just to get ourselves a little bit more of a power base, and potentially we might actually try and conquer our way into well, I have no idea if there is actually, yeah, it seems to be just colonizable land. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to take a colonization idea, or basically wait until this area is discovered, then conquer my way in here. That is probably Mali or something like that. Hopefully not Castile. But anyways, we're going to end it here. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.